Dear students, let us begin with a question in this today's class, which was there in NEET 2024. The question stated that identify ABCD with respect to the spermatogenesis. So here in this question, they had given a flow chart and how to tackle this kind of question. Let us first begin with the basic concept that either it is a male or he or she is a male or female. In both scenarios, on the onset of puberty, a hormone which is called as GnRH, gonadotrophin releasing hormone, is released by the hypothalamus, which signalize the anterior pituitary. It will give the signal to the anterior pituitary, and the pituitary gland from its interior lobe will release two hormones which are known as LHS, luteinizing hormone. The full form stands same for both, and second comes the FSH, follicular stimulating hormone. Now this FSH and LH, both of them are having their particular roles in male and female. Here this flow chart belongs to male because they have taken two words, androgens and spermatogenesis. So if I'm talking about the LH is going to act upon the Leydig cells. So LH will be acting upon the Leydig cells, and through this Leydig cells, androgens will be released, and these androgens will promote again the Sertoli cells for the formation of sperms, that is the spermatogenesis. So these androgens are going to act upon the Sertoli cells, which will initiate the formation of spermatogenesis and which will trigger the formation of spermatogenesis. If it was for female, if it has been asked or it would be asked for female, then this LH will be acting upon, this is the rise in LH or the surge in LH will cause the release of secondary oocyte. So it will release, it will help in the bursting of the Graafian follicle and the release of secondary oocyte from them. So here it is asked for male. So we had answered, we had completed this chain. Now let us look at the second part, FSH. FSH is going to act upon the Sertoli cells. The Sertoli cells. Here you can memorize it with the term L, luteinizing hormone L, and this Leydig L. These are both the letters are beginning with the same. And here Sertoli cells and S, you can memorize it as a tool that FSH is having S, follicular stimulating hormone, and is going to act upon the cell which is beginning with the S, Sertoli cells. Now Sertoli cells will release certain factors which will promote further the spermatogenesis. So let us look upon the answers, the options. The very first option we are getting much more similar. So A, with respectively we have to check out the answer. FSH will be, A will be FSH. So ICSH, this option cannot be there. We can easily eliminate second and fourth. Let us move ahead. B part is Leydig cells. Here also the Leydig cells. Now let us look here. No, they had given the Sertoli cells. This option is again eliminated. But still we have to check the correct accuracy. For accuracy we are looking for next, third, C. C is Sertoli cells. Yes, C is Sertoli cells. And D, yes, it is spermatogenesis, because these factors will also induce the spermatogenesis. So this is the basic process which we have looked for human male. Now let me show what are the things regarding to the human female. If this question would have been asked for human females, then how we are going to answer it? So let us look about the same chart with respect to the human females. In human female, similarly like this also, GnRH will be released on the onset of puberty from hypothalamus. It will promote, this is a releasing factor. Hypothalamus releases two kind of factors, one is releasing factor, another is inhibin factor. Here it is a releasing factor. It will promote the anterior pituitary, and anterior pituitary will release same LH and FSH. Here the terms in the two cells will be meant like FSH, follicular stimulating hormones, follicular stimulating hormones. So this follicular stimulating hormone, what it is going to do, it will induce the formation of follicles. It will enhance the follicular formation in the human females. As in male, it was inducing the Leydig cells, but in females, it is going to induce the growth of follicles. Let us look towards this diagram of a longitudinal section of a human female. So if in this longitudinal section we are looking, so we will be finding what? There will be several nerves, there will be supply of blood vessels, a rich supply of blood will be there. So like this you can see in your NCERT diagram. Now in the ovary there will be certain oocytes. Now these oocytes are 2N. Oocytes are in the state of 2N. Basically what used to happen in human females, the process of oogenesis begins when they were in the uterine stage. Within the uterine stage, the divisions started and it has been arrested at the prophase 1. In prophase 1, it is arrested in the diplotin stage, they are being arrested, and at the time when female is going to attain the puberty, in that scenario, these will be triggered further for their process of oogenesis. Now, this follicular stimulating hormone in female will induce the growth of follicles around it. So slowly the follicles will increase and the follicular growth will be there. The follicular growth will be seen. Now this follicular stages will be there. This will be converted into secondary primary follicular stage. This is primary follicular stage. Now it will be reaching for the secondary follicular stage. Follicles will grow in size like this. This is the secondary follicular stage, richly supplied with the follicles. Then tertiary follicular stage. Tertiary follicular stage like this. On reaching the tertiary follicular stage, we'll look, some changes will be there. Like this, follicles are increasing in size. The size will also increase like this. And during this phase, it is going to convert. This is secondary follicular stage. Now there will be the completion of first division, meiosis first will complete, and from here the first polar body will be released. The first polar body will be released and we are left with the secondary oocyte. Now here we was having the primary oocyte and here we are having the secondary oocyte, and this is our first polar body. So first polar body is released within the female ovary itself. Now during this tertiary follicular stage, a space will be formed which is called antrum. The space will be filled with the fluid. This antrum formation will take place. Now this antrum will grow in size, and this tertiary follicular stage, this is tertiary follicular stage, will get converted into the Graafian follicle, the matured follicle or the Graafian follicle. So the Graafian follicle is having an antrum. So we can draw like this. All around it is surrounded by the follicular cells like this. Follicular cells will be there. Follicular cells will be having. So it is called as, termed as the Graafian follicle. The Graafian follicles. The Graafian follicles. Now this Graafian follicle will reach to the ovarian wall and it will rupture, and by rupturing of this Graafian follicle there will be release of ovum, and the release of ovum will be released like this. This is the secondary oocyte. You can say that it is the secondary oocyte, and the process is called ovulation. This ovulation, this process of ovulation is triggered by the LS surge. Though due to the follicular growth there will be a rise in the level of estrogen as well, but as soon as the LS surge takes place, it is just prior to the mid of the cycle. So this LS surge will lead to the ovulation. So in female, what basically FSH and LH are doing? So FSH is increasing, promoting the follicular growth, and LH surge will cause the ovulation. It is not so that only LS surge, basically primarily the LS surge. Along with it, there is also one factor promoting, which is the estrogen, high in level of estrogen. Then again, one more question, one reason assertion was also there, which has been asked in the same 5th of May 2024 examination. So I am reading this. Assertion was FSH act upon the ovarian follicles in female and Leydig cells in male. So in assertion, in the question which has been asked in NEET this year, the question was saying FSH act upon the ovarian follicles. So FSH is acting on the ovarian follicles. It is true. Ovarian follicles. It is promoting. It is promoting them. Then this statement continues with and Leydig cells in male. So FSH in males, the statement or the assertion is saying that in males, FSH is acting on the Leydig cells. On the Leydig cells. So is it true? They are saying that this Leydig cells, FSH on Leydig cells, FSH on Leydig cells. This is not true. What is true is that LH acts on the Leydig cells. In males, LH acts on Leydig cells. So here in that question, assertion is false. Now we will be checking out the reason. The reason says that, I am reading the reason. Growing ovarian follicles secrete estrogen. Yes, these are the growing ovarian follicles, and this growing ovarian follicles will increase the level of ovarian hormone, which is the estrogen. So estrogen level will rise due to these follicular growth, and due to this estrogen rise in estrogen level, when we account for 7 to around 12 days of the menses. So during this phase, during this period, if I am looking for that, so during this period, when there is a rise in estrogen, it will induce the growth of uterus. So it is accounted as proliferative phase. So proliferative phase. Another name, this name is given on the basis of the estrogen. This estrogen will induce the growth of endometrium, which was degenerated during the first phase of the menstruation. Okay? Because menses has taken place. Now, this estrogen level will rise. So the reason was given that growing ovarian follicles secrete estrogen in human female, while interstitial cells secrete androgen in human beings. It is true. Interstitial cells. So interstitial cells, what they are going to do? They are secreting androgens. So follicles are secreting estrogen, and in human males, the interstitial cells are releasing androgens, and androgens promote or boost up the process of spermatogenesis. Thank you so much.